What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
some interesting hands that we've played live to see what's going on. So what happened is this. This is my first time back playing live no limit in a long time, maybe since pre-COVID. And I played a lot online since then. I had a limited number of hours I could play. I had a show to go to afterwards. The game was 3-5, and I had $1,500 with me. I had $2,000 with me, thinking that was fine, 4 buy-ins. But as it turns out, the game really was 3-5-10. There was a mandatory straddle, and I didn't know that.
Ah,
Okay?
are you playing in Vegas?
No, this is in San Francisco. This is at a club called Lucky Chances.
Oh, I've heard about Lucky Chances.
Yeah. And so they have a 1-2-2 game, which has a $5 bring in. So you can't limp. You open for 5. Five is the equivalent of a limp in this game.
Got it.
And then they have this game, which is a 3-5 game, but it plays as 3-5-10. So the things going on is, first of all, the game is twice as big as a 3-5, but also there's 3 blinds. And the thing we study, we don't study a 3-blind game, we study a 2-blind game. So everything we're doing is going to adapt to that. Also, there's way, way more limping. There's tons of limping. Oh, I know what the hand is. We got to do the king queen hand first. We got to do the queen 10 hand first. That's what we have to. That's the important hand, is the queen 10. Yes.
Can I ask you a question about
Yes.
how you notate, or would you prefer that at the end?
Um,
Do you want to go after that after you go over the hands?
I'm not really good at notating. I don't, Jonathan Little has a webinar where he did how he takes notes.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, I just after the hand, if I want to do it, I kind of play it back in my head and make a note on my phone.
Yeah.
But I don't have a really formal way to do it because I haven't been doing it long enough.
Okay.
And just because I have all that hand history online to work with, so it's just so much easier than live hands. But this one just mattered. Let's make sure that this is the hand that I think it is. Boom. As the first one. Yes, this is. Okay, good.
All right. So this is an interesting spot. So the mandatory straddle on.
Right. The straddle is always going to be on. And because I've only got $2,000 with me and the buy-in is $1,500, and I'm going to be there for a certain amount of time, that one thing that's going on is I don't want to not be able to play for the full 3.5 hours that I have. So this is going to affect a little bit of my approach, and that's not good, but it's what it was. I don't want to go broke. I don't want to go broke and not be able to play. And the amount of money doesn't matter. The $1,500 buy-in is not outside of my reasonable stakes. I can play that
your bankroll.
Of my bankroll. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But my bankroll in my pocket is not enough to support this game because the game is twice as big as I planned. When I went back the next day, I went back with $6,000 in my pocket, and I felt, okay, this is fine. Okay. So this is one of the early hands I play, and this is what sets up what the game is like. So people have been playing relatively fishy. We already have that these two guys, that I'm in the God seat against 2 very fishy players and one guy who's mediumly fishy. Okay. These other players haven't done anything good or bad particularly. They're other players. I don't have any feeling about them because these guys are over warping what's going on at the table, the 3 of them. Mm-hmm. Lots of limping going on. So a raise of 20 from somebody who is short stacked and playing reasonably, and 20 is an unbelievably small raise for this game. We haven't seen a raise of 20 yet. 30 and 35 are the standard, and we've seen 40 and 45 opens. But 30 and 35 are the standard, and I've done 25 and I've done 30. I don't think anybody, and maybe there's been a 25, but that's it. So he goes to 20. This guy goes 60. Fine. Fold. Cold call of 60, cold call of 60. I, of course, fold. Fold. Then this guy jams for the 400.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, looking at himself, goes, folds it. Two of them call.
Okay.
Now, up to this point, I haven't seen any important showdowns or anything like that with these guys.
Okay.
All I've seen is just they're in too many hands and they're limping.
So the first thing, so essentially what we're doing with this hand is we're setting up the narrative for your later hand.
Setting up the narrative.
Got it.
For what's going on. And then the hand comes out. There's a bet. Right. It goes check, bet, fold here. Check, he bet. Not that this matters. The king, it says the king here checks. That's right. Okay. On this. Yeah. Check, check. Then the king comes out. Then there's a check, bet, fold. And we get our showdown. This guy.
So this is a dream spot for you because you're in the God seat and the fish just doubled up.
Right.
And he double up, but he got a much bigger.
He's got a bunch of shit. Right. And this is how fishy he is. King 7 offsuit calls the initial raise, calls the jam.
Yeah.
Says King 7 and King 5 are my favorite hands.
He actually said it out loud?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Without irony?
Yeah. Yeah. No. And I, without irony, say, well, then you got to play him. I mean, look. Yeah. So this is
what time of the day is it? Is this at night or during the day?
This is a Saturday day.
Okay.
10 a.m., 10:30 a.m.
Okay.
So people are not drunk yet. This is just how they're playing.
Now, he doesn't know he's an idiot.
No, he's playing poker like a slot machine and having a great time. And those chips, this $520 extra dollars, 540 counting his plus the straddles, this $547, $557 is not going to stay here. This is obvious. It is going
given
to flow,
a proper sample size, it will not stay there.
It's going to flow to the left statistically.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and this is good.
You got the God seat.
Right. So I am in favor of what's about to happen. In this situation, I get very few playable hands. So I am an obvious old man. I am looking so much like an old man coffee in this game.
You are, which is what I have too.
Yeah.
The OMC image is very powerful.
Yeah. Because I'm planning on playing tighter than our ranges are because of the inflated sizes. I'm planning on playing tighter because I don't want to stop playing for 3.5 hours because that's how much time I have and I don't have time to go to the bank. So I'm going to play tighter than usual because of the dynamic at the table and because of what's in my pocket. And because of that, and because I wasn't getting cards, I look even more like an old man coffee. So I'm really old man coffee now. Okay? That's just the way it goes. There's one other guy who is sitting here, who leaves eventually, who is more old man coffee than me, and is an old man and is drinking coffee. All right. So now we get to this. So now we get to the situation where, where the first one where it comes in is this hand with jacks. So there's mandatory straddle. This is voluntary straddle, and was this the same hand? Right. Okay. Yes. So there's now there's a voluntary straddle on this hand.
Got it. So this affects your big blind count, right?
Yeah.
So now you're really playing at 100. You're playing at 150.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I do my math right?
Yes.
We're playing essentially 155.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this guy, and this has not happened yet. This guy puts on a voluntary straddle of 20. This is the first time it's happened in the game. This guy here is at least a competent player. He could be very good. He could be slightly less than competent, but he's not bad. He's not a fish in any way, relative to the table. He could be much better than me. I don't know. I just have watched him play and he's played fine. He's the guy who raised the 60 the other time and folded to the jam when these guys got in there. So he goes to 60, which is standard for the table, a 3x to this thing. Okay. We get again, both these guys jumping in because it's
flat 3-bet.
Yeah, they do this. So I'm of course going to 3-bet. And my 3-bet is to 385.
let's talk about sizing. Because I'm in this
Okay.
situation a lot.
Gotcha.
Tell me how you got to the sizing. So
So
you've got, can you go back once so we can see what the pot is before you
yeah,
bet?
yep. So I do. So this is what. So this is what I'm.
So the
here.
pot currently is at 218.
Yeah.
And you've got a 3-bet and 2 flats. Now this, we don't study, right? This is not
But-
GTO wizard.
Yeah. No, but we know what this is. We have a theory behind this,
Yeah.
which is the standard poker coaching theory, which is easy. It's you take the pot, and the way we calculate the pot is we go 3 times the last bet, 180, 240, 300, plus the other money in the, 300 other money in pot, 300, 320, 330, 335. So there's 335 in the pot. All right. Of which the casino is going to rake away about 6 or 10, something like that. So
Well, the pot right now, it says in the player is 218.
right, right. But when we put in mine, to figure out
Oh,
what
where the
size
pot will
bet
be
is,
after we bet.
right. When we put in my bet, with a call, a pot size bet here is 180, 240, 300, 320, 330, 335, minus the rake, 325.
Okay.
Now, out of position, add in another one. That's 60. That's 385.
Got it.
So I'm doing pot plus 1. Also, this 385 is a big bet for the game. You don't get pre-flop 385 like this very often.
Mhm.
You saw it in the last hand, but that was big. I've been old man coffee, so I don't feel that I need to go bigger. Also, I don't mind if he's in with king 7, If this
Yeah.
guy wants to call me with his king 5 or his king 7 and he beats me, he does.
You'll take that 60-30 any day.
Yeah, exactly. 60, 30, 75.
Maybe it's 65, 35. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, whatever the number. It's right in that range. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's 75, 25, but it's probably,
No, you're right.
and whether he's suited or not makes a difference, but all that stuff. So do this. I'm fine with this size. Fold, fold, fold. Jam.
Uh-huh.
And in any chart, the jacks call.
Yep.
And in any world where he has ace king, I'm even better off because I think one of these guys has at least one of these guys has an ace or a king usually.
Very good combinatorics.
Right?
Yes. I mean, I think this card removal, whatever.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Fold, fold.
Okay.
And I tank because given my old man coffee,
He should know.
Is this guy playing an ace 5 suited here ever like this kind of thing? And I'm going, no, I don't think so. I don't think against me. I don't think in this game, he doesn't need to play that well to win this game. He doesn't need to take that extra variance.
Yeah.
And is this the hand to do it when he's invested 60? And I did this to everybody. This is pretty close to the bottom of my range now, my actual range for this, because I wasn't going to do this with ace 5 suited. I have no bluffs here. I don't.
So Peter Clark calls this fortune reversal. You are now experiencing fortune reversal.
Yeah. Now, he doesn't know all this. He doesn't know my range. He doesn't know I have no bluffs, but he's seen that I play no hands.
Yeah.
I know that I have no bluffs. Therefore, in theory, I can fold the bottom of my range here and call with the top of my range. I'm not doing this with pocket 10s. Probably.
No.
Definitely not doing it with 9s. So jacks and 10s are the bottom of my range. Ace king, I'm doing this and I'm jamming. I'm calling it off with ace king. Aces and kings, I'm calling it off. Queens, I'm thinking. And so after all that, I folded, which is so weak. This is me playing so much weaker than you've seen me play online. And
Yeah, you made an expert fold.
Yeah, it's the combination of all those factors, including the money in my pocket.
So the one way that I would think about this, if you go back to right for the fold,
Yep.
just so I can visualize it. The best you're doing here is flipping. The best,
Right.
the best, your pre-flop equity at its best is 55 full, is you have 55 days 45.
Yes.
And just making that conclusion, let's disregard pot odds because it's this you could call it.
But here's the thing, in real poker, I'm going to say 90% of the time here, the best I'm doing is flipping.
Yes.
10%, 10% he has either overvalued ace 10, overvalued tens, 10% of the time, you know, or is running a competent plus bluff. You know, a really good player who's,
which is ace 5 suited here.
yeah, you know, who's taken that, but, or maybe put it at 5%.
But he doesn't need to take that against, he doesn't need to take that spot.
I don't think he needs to do it against me, but you know, but if he's super good and he goes tight, people, you know, tight aggressive people have real hands, but they also can fold.
You know what this feels like to me? I know we're not supposed to, this feels like queens.
Queens or kings.
Are kings, but not aces.
Yeah.
Aces, I think he four bets.
Yeah. Yep. Kings, this seems like a really good kings and queens thing. Sometimes aces and a lot of ace king, a lot of ace king.
Yeah, a lot of combos ace king, but
Right.
again, that's what you're doing this for.
Yeah. But if you add up the ace kings and suiteds, 16 of those,
Yeah.
do you want to reduce it to 12 because one of these guys has an ace or a king? No, let's just go 16 of those. Then the aces, another 6 of those, the kings, another 6 of those, the queens, another 6 of those. So it's ace king a little bit more than it's the others. But in all those cases, you add all those together, this is a profitable call given the pot, given the money that's already in the pot, because I'm not calling 1,500. I'm calling 11-15 to win 2K. This is a profitable call against his range if it contains as much ace king as we think, and one of these guys has an ace or a king, and it doesn't contain aces very much, and 5% of the time I'm ahead. You know, I mean, like really ahead.
Yeah.
Or even 2%. This is a profitable call. But this call, when I lose it around half or 45% of the time, or even, you know, lose it 40% of the time, you know, give me everything, means I have $500 left and I can't play anymore like poker.
The practicalities of the situation.
Right. So
Results.
this is right. So this is
Let
not,
me ask you a question here real quick.
Yeah.
Let's take out the practicalities and situation. Let's say you have the guy from your bank just behind you with a pocket full of
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah.
Is you are bankrupt for this game, and you could just say another buy-in please.
yeah,
What do
exactly.
you do then?
I become at least 33% more likely to call.
Okay.
You know, because that's at least a third of my consideration. So yeah, I think seriously about calling then. I look at it and I think I fold.
This is so weighted towards.
I think it's so I think it's so close. I think I look at all of that, and if it's, and again, if I'd been playing differently, I would not fold. I'm putting something into his head that says, I have not made a bet yet like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that I haven't played a hand. I played ace king, I raised it and I took it. I've done raises. But I have been in so few hands at this point. And I don't know that he sees that, but yeah, if I'd been playing my normal VPIP, I call this instantly. I've got to adjust his range to say that of all the people he doesn't want to do it against, he doesn't want to do it against me and the old man coffee over here. So
Yeah, that's a good point. He's yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
So anyway, so I fold it like that.
Like,
I thought for a while.
you had to deliberate.
I deliberated for a while. And then those guys talked and said, these guys then talked. He says, you raise and fold? And I go, yeah. And then somebody over here says, well, it's a good play if you're beat. And I said, he says a good play if you know you're beat. And I said, and it's a bad play if you know you're not. And this guy says nothing. He does not.
The competent guy
Yeah, he does. The competent guy does not say anything. He just takes the money.
takes the money, tips dealer next to him.
Takes the money, tips the dealer. I reach in my pocket, take out another $300, get back up to 1,500 and go on with my life.
Let me ask you a quick question about adding money.
Yeah.
In California, is it expected that when you add to your stack, you verbalize?
No, I've never seen anybody say it.
Okay.
Because
Got it.
most of all, because most people, when they add to their stack, they put it cash on the table and somebody brings out chips. So it's like obvious.
Mhm.
When I bought in, I took my $2,000 and I bought the full amount from it. And I took the 5 chips that I put 500 chips in my pocket. So I just had them to add on.
That's what I do. I buy in for the max, which is 300. I put 100 big blinds on the table, and the other 50 big blinds go into my bag.
Yeah. So just so I can have, just so I have money I can put out there without calling for the guy over. And also, quite honestly, to save the $1 tip, because I tip the guy who brings me chips $1. So I buy in for more and tip once.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's part of my thing, is to save $1 tip because I'm cheap.
As am I.
Right. So we sit here. Where it's the dream. We've been waiting for cards in the situation.
Mhm.
We get
Ah,
a limp. We get a 40. This says 3-bet, but it's just a raise because this is a mandatory straddle. He's a fish. The fishiest fish folds. I'm really upset about that. This is the guy who's super fishy. Okay. I go to 120. Absolutely standard. Fold. Heads up. We're in a regular game of poker now. When
all right.
this board comes out, it came out in this order. This is important
Mhm.
because I saw the ace in the window first and went, oh God, no, wait a minute. Yes.
In your head?
No, in my head. I have no idea if it showed on my face,
Yeah.
but it was just like ace out. I go, oh God. Oh, never mind. All right. So now we are,
Mhm.
let's get all the money in. How do we get all the money in? So he checks. Pot is 268. I bet just over a third. He calls.
Can we go back one? Do you mind?
Yes.
Let's do an SPR here.
Okay.
270. So I'm going to estimate the SPR is 5.
Yeah. SPR is 5.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to be okay. And I still bet, I still bet small here. I could bet large. But it's unlikely he has a king.
Yeah.
So if he's got a call, it's an ace. It's a flush draw. It's a queen, jack, queen, 10,
Mhm.
10 jack. Or it's weird pocket tens kinds of things that they play that people who play weird play, right?
Yeah.
I could on this board theoretically go big. I just started with this. I don't think there may have been a little bit of please call me. Let me at least get this. He
Mhm.
calls, great. Pot's 468. I go larger. I don't overbet the pot. I go 300. That's going to put in, when he calls, that's going to put in 1468, and he's going to have 800 behind. We're going to get it all in, no problem, with this bet. So this is 2E-ish.
Mhm.
At the call. The river is the 10. I don't think he has queen jack anymore. I'm not worried about queen jack. I don't think queen jack calls this 300 very often. 300 into 468.
Yeah. Except Queen Jack spades. So.
Right. And I don't care if it's queen jack of spades, and I don't care what spades it is. The spades comes in and he checks and I tank. And a little bit of this is I don't want to have to go home. I don't want to lose the, I want it to be able to continue.
You
to
want to play live poker.
I want to play live poker. And I check behind,
Mhm.
which is just, I mean, how often does this guy have a flush that he doesn't bet?
Bet he doesn't donk on river.
Right, that he doesn't donk on river. It's like, he doesn't have a flush very often. Some of the times he has a flush, he donks on river. How often is this guy not donking his flush? It's like, it's not a flush. And if it's a flush, reach in your pocket and get, it's like, get max value. I've still got, basically a pot size bet here left.
Yeah, and also his calling, we don't know what his calling tendency. We don't know how much he stations, but
No,
it's a shitty run out to get value from with a set.
and so now when he shows the ace, so now when I turn my hand, so now when I say, I wait a bit and then I breathe in and just go, I don't believe this, but I check. And I threw my kings out there. And he then shows me the ace four. He goes, I put you on kings. I really believe you. Yeah. He says, that's what I thought you had. And I go, yeah. So does he call a pot size bet? Does he call all in with his ace four? Probably not. He's a fish, but he's not the fishiest player.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is just this is a
Maybe he
tough spot.
does. Maybe he calls, maybe he doesn't. Does he call a bet of 300 or 400? Yes, he does. Should I bet 300 or 400? And then if he raises me, fold a set? So there's that play, the play where you lose, where you get 300 when you win, but you lose 1,000 when you lose.
Mhm.
That's the situation I'm in, because I've decided I'm not going to fold my set. I think about that for a while. I go, am I going to bet 300 and fold if he jams? No, I'm not going to do it. Should I do it? Probably not. Because would he do this with ace 10 if he rivered the 10? Probably not. I don't know. But I decided I wasn't, and I didn't bet it. And now I could not look more. Now the old man coffee on the other side of the table looks at me and says, would you like a cup of coffee? I mean, this is so.
Did he really say that?
No, that was a joke. This is so weak, this check behind here from me, I think. And I don't,
So
and I think if I have another buy-in in my pocket, I bet this, and when I lose, I go, oh well. And I put the money in and do another buy-in.
Did you run
Online,
this?
I hit the all-in button here every time.
So the 10 is 10 of spades here is arguably the worst card in the deck. Yeah, I think it's the worst card in the deck.
Yeah.
Um,
Card in the deck. You don't love to see an ace, because you could have two.
what was your bet size on turn?
300, 75%.
So are you? I'm not entirely sure without spade blocker. If solver, I don't know what solver would do here.
Hey, let's find out. The hand is not a heads up hand, but it might as well be, and we can reduce we can make the SBRs right by changing our stack size. So we'll throw this in a solver at the end.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. All right, give me the full run out.
Yeah, there's the run up that matters, and yeah, there we go. There it is.
Okay. This is an equity shifting card.
It is.
And the solver might, I wonder if solvers might have donks.
But I
That would be
certainly
quite extravagant.
But I certainly unblock him from having an ace. So it's easy on this way for him to have a hand he can call with. That's what makes this extra weak. It's not like, oh, there's nothing he can call you with. He's like, yeah, he can call an ace, and he can call a small bet with an ace easily. I can put another 200 in this pot and get a call. I can make $200 more, no problem. But I reopen it, and then I blah, blah, blah. All right.
Okay, do you want me to share?
No, let's do the last hands, and then we'll go back.
All right.
With the story.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yes, we've got a narrative.
Right. So here we go. There's your mandatory straddle. Here we go with the limp, limp, limp. So I get to see a flop so now completing the 10-5 in the big blind, the 10-8 seems fine.
Yeah, agreed.
Don't get raised,
Okay,
you know? This seems like an easy check multi-way. Bet 25 and get called. This seems easy. You
yeah,
know, I don't think this is, I don't think this is a good check raise into two people, not at this table into relatively fishy players. This guy doesn't fold. I don't think this is a good one. Just let's get there.
so the fishiest is a station.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Very station.
Okay.
All right. This is not a bad card. Check. Hey, it checked around. Great. And then this is the funniest card to come.
Ah,
I have probably the nuts here. Probably. They believe we are probably splitting. There's $125 in the pot, and I can get someone to call $25 or $30 easily. Fishy but not fishiest player does the live thing that I know this is a tell for. I know what it means in general. He has about $50 in chips in his hand, picks them up.
ah,
Okay. This is to keep you from betting. This is, he's not going to bet the 50. He's holding it there to say, I'm going to bet the 50 or I'm going to call. Don't bluff.
God.
Right? I know that's what it means. And yet, because it's the 6 of hearts, and there's no doubt that I'm going to call. If he bets this 50, I'm going to call happily. And I'm not going to raise.
Mhm.
And I'm going to hope that this guy calls also. I check when I, I'm thinking about whether I'm going to do it. I see the 50 and I go, oh, maybe he's going to bet 50. That's what I want. That's the perfect thing. That's better than me betting, is me calling.
Mhm.
I check. And of course he checks behind. So again, old man.
Oh, oh my, so he angled.
He angled. It worked. Everything. I mean, I am playing so bad this day. And I'm not claiming that I'm the best player, that I'm the best player in the world. I'm not even the best player in our study group. Okay.
So they had to show, did he have anything? Close.
Yeah, yeah. He had, I think we're going to see his cards. Oh, we
Okay.
have, he had the 9. So he bet
We had to know. Okay.
the 9 and then checked when the 1 card straight came out.
Yeah,
He had like Jack 9 or something.
okay.
I don't remember whether this guy showed or I don't remember what he showed. I didn't write it down because what I wrote down was my own play, was that I did this. So I'm not the best player, finishing that sentence, but I'm better than this. I am better than what we've seen here, and I'm not playing that good. So this is the day that I went, I'm watching myself play what is clearly not my A game.
Yeah.
And then the last hand, you're going to see, are those them? 1, 2, 3. Nope, those are them. Those are my 4 hands. The
So we
one
had the
that's
setup,
up,
the narrative, right?
and then 2, and then 3 hands of old man coffee. Jacks, which they didn't show. Yeah. So that was my story from the day. And I went, and when I finished, I said, next time I go there, I'm going to have $6,000. I'm going to have unlimited time. And I'm going to, oh, the other thing about it was physically, I was uncomfortable for the first hour or 2. I felt it in my body.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Where do you think that was the original? It was that, so to me, when I'm playing live,
Mhm.
I'm sometimes riding what I know as adrenaline. I don't drink when I'm playing.
Mhm.
The majority of people are drinking. I'm not drinking. I vape nicotine. And by the way, the amount of smokers to poker players is, I had no idea playing online.
Oh, yeah. This is
It's
a home
fucking
game.
80%.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a statistic.
Yep.
I
It's
fall
like
right in.
it's like an AA meeting, all smokers.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And
Yeah.
so what I was gonna say is I'm not uncomfortable, but I am riding a wave of adrenaline.
Yeah.
Why do you think you're uncomfortable?
Because I hadn't played live in a while. And because live no limit, I used to always be uncomfortable in my body. That's why I didn't like it.
Just
Um,
because you're trained for limit?
Yeah, when I played, when I played live all the time and played limit, I sat down at a table, whatever the stakes were, and I felt comfortable. Like when I went to Vegas, maybe the first time and played like in the 40-80, and there are the Vegas players. So I'm the new guy at the table. They all probably know each other. I think I sat down and felt jangly, but I watched it play for a while and I go, okay, I see what's going on. I can play this game. Um,
But
I
you know that's gonna get easy. It's gonna get better
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah, exactly. When I played online for bigger, when my regular game was the online 5100 limit game back in poker, when we had uh what was the name of the site? It got closed down. One of the first ones we got.
The one that was bought by Poker Stars.
Yeah.
Full tilt?
Full tilt. Yeah, full tilt. Yeah. Went full tilt, that became my regular game. And like the first time I played it online, I mean, I could see my mouse hand shaking, going, oh, Jesus, this is a lot of money. But very soon I went, oh, this is how these guys play? Yeah, this is fine. They play a little bit better than the guys in my $50, $1 home game. Okay, I can play this game. And I relaxed. But whenever I played no limit, it's because you can always go all in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I just felt jangly.
Yeah, sure. I can see
And
that.
now we've studied enough and played online enough, and I've hit the all in button enough times, and I've reloaded a buy in that it's like, it's poker, right?
Mhm.
That I don't feel jangly. But I sat down there, and it was higher stakes than, because I'm not playing $1,500 buy-ins online. I'm playing
Yeah.
the $100 game online. And so with that, with the live, with the size of the game, and with what's in my pocket, I felt nervous and jangly. I could feel that feeling in it.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and go, well, that's something. This is really going on. So I
I
felt,
mean, you gotta maybe like that, right? But for me, it's like, it's not discomfort. It's riding an adrenaline wave a little bit,
yeah. And so
which makes me really focus.
Yeah.
Like that's what one of the owners said to me. He's like, dude, you watch everything with a hawk. And I think that's the correlation between what the adrenaline is doing to it, just making me right like that.
Yeah. So the next day when I went back and I sat down, I could feel myself feeling comfortable. I go, I know why I'm here. I have the right amount of money in my pocket. I know how to do this. Sat down. The guy to my right got drunker and drunker to where he called a hand with 10 high,
Mhm.
not because of any deep analysis that says the guy either has the flush here, or if he was on the straight draw and he's bluffing it, the straight draw was a 9-7, therefore my 10 is good. It was nothing like that. It wasn't an advanced 10 high call. It was a drunk guy calling it, if the pot was enormous, because he was the one who'd been doing the bluffing. And then when he gives up and the guy bets 200, it's only 200 more. So he pays $200 to see the guy's hand, I guess. And I'm directly on that guy's left. And it's like, oh, this is great. And I got no hands and I lost. This day I won. The other day I lost. I'm up for the 2 days. But I was comfortable in my losing. And I'm going to go back there, next time I have a full day, which
You lost the second day?
lost the second. The first day I won. I played for like 3 hours and won 1,000 or 1,100. I'll go.
You want to buy in the first day?
I can go look it up. What?
You
Yeah,
want to buy in?
just under one buy-in. And the second day I lost, I think 800. And some of that was just not getting cards. And 3 hands was probably bad play in that, there was a raise and a call and my hand wasn't good enough to, I didn't think my hand was a 3-bet, and I thought that, that it still could play against these guys as a call. And then I got squoze, and that happened twice. So that's $100 of it, was letting myself make the squeeze mistake from somebody who later from watching her play later, was competent and could easily have seen could easily have been squeezing light because of the 2 calls. Someone who did know something about poker.
Okay.
It's also possible that person had aces and it was a great fold by me. We don't know. They didn't show their hand.
So
but
what's your feeling about live poker now?
My feeling is that they play worse than the players I play against online, and they
Mhm.
play for more money. Main
Well,
thing is that they play for more money, is that um you can't find this is a $5, $10 game. You cannot find an online $5, $10 game with people playing this bad.
so raise. What? Hold on. What am I on? What does it say?
He's cut off. Hold on. Wrong hand. Let's find this here. Okay, yeah. So he's hijack. Hijack raises.
Why does this number look different? Hold on. It's an N of 50. 50. Let's drop 9.
Do we have post flop with 3x, or do we only have post flop with 2.5? You're pre-flop only. You're pre-flop only. We need post flop.
Yeah, that's why. That's why this is funky. And it was funky for some reason. We could try to find 3x. Want to try to find 3x?
I don't think we have 3x post flop.
Yeah.
Take a look. Let's see what you got. Maybe you do.
But no, but then it's going to be fuckered because it's GTO.
Yeah.
What's your rake structure?
My rake is live 10%.
Do you
No,
want
it's
to
not
do live? Do you want to do live 10?
live with a drop. And do live 10%. What do we care? Sure.
Oh.
Let's see if we lets us go.
Raise,
Yep.
kings.
He's a hijack.
Okay. All right. So
Raises from the hijack.
you're in the cutoff. You're in the button.
I'm on the button with king. I re-raise.
Why does it want to do 9 here and 10 here? Maybe because the button's worth more.
Yeah.
Maybe because it wants to put more money on the button where it's guaranteed position.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's very
Mm.
strange. Hijack, he calls.
Right, with his ace 4 suited, which
We'll
is
pretend he has ace 5 suited.
Five.
Oh, only available. Oh, only available.
All right.
Flop.
All right, there we go.
All right. So,
Let's just do it with
want to do what we know?
no, we'll just do it. Do what we know works. 2.5.
Okay. So 6 max. Do you want me to change the rate structure?
No,
100. What? How deep are you?
we are 150, but we're gonna go to 100, but we're gonna make it 100 because that's gonna get things right because of the inflated
The SPR will be closer. You want?
because there was if I remember correctly, what happened was there was a limp first. Is that right? Yeah, there was a limp, then a raise, which is why his raise is to 40 and not 25. So that cuts our SPR, because our SPR on the flop is 54 we want to be at an SPR of about 5.
This guy's better than you thought. Look, you found the sliver.
Yeah. Well
You
played.
found the sliver.
Okay.
Okay, call. Go to the flop, ladies and gentlemen, of ace of spades, king of hearts,
9 of spades.
9 of spades. He's checking range, so you clearly are loving this flop.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. We're not gonna be looking at too many of these. I'm just gonna look.
You
Yeah.
can spend as long as you want, since this is the hand we're looking at.
Yeah, you're just so in love with this flop.
This is
This is bordering on ridiculous.
yeah.
So he checks range. Clearly, someone's got the range advantage, and it's not the out of position. We
Right.
bet flatter. You're gonna check. You're gonna bet small
gonna bet
across range.
Bet range, and
Bet-
my bet size is I do a lot of 33s. I do some 50s, so that's good to know.
What?
my 33
So what do
will-
your kings do specifically?
they do a lot of 33s.
You're so. What do you? I'm gonna. So this is. I'm gonna estimate your equity at this point in the hand is at 93%.
God, that low?
90. Yeah, really. Yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
So what sides did you use in game, sir?
I chose close to 33. I chose a slight inflation of 33 because I could get away with it. I bet 100 into 268.
Okay, shall we solve 33, sir?
Get 33. Yeah, I feel good about this. Yeah.
So he's gonna have some shaky ace. He does not have any shaky aces yet.
Yeah.
He doesn't, so his equity is gonna be, I think, approaching 50% here with ace four suited. Without, well, he's not gonna have a flush draw. Without the
Right.
back
That's the
door.
thing. That was the thing that I didn't, here's the thing where the solver is wrong, where the solver output is gonna be not like life.
Yeah, he's approaching a fold.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity. Let's see if I can still do this. Clear ace four. Never mind, let's put this back. Clear ace four. Let's see where this falls in our equity bucket. I think it's gonna be pretty close to a fold.
Yeah.
It's a little bit farther than I thought. Down here.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are gonna be flush draws.
What's his magical bluff way down there at the bottom? What is he going low frequency on? 5-5.
Fives.
That's sexy.
Blocking. Fives. Double blocking draws.
Yeah.
Or you could argue with the draw. However
Right.
you want.
Let's look. Is the other one sixes and the other one sevens? Is that what those are?
This is being driven to fold. Driven to fold.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let's look at
What-
what are the other babies?
What are the suicide bluffs?
Yeah. Deuces.
Deuces.
Same suits. Threes.
So
Maybe fours.
we were talking about the value of solvers.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt you, Scotty. This is important. I've
Yes.
found this.
Yep.
Getting to the river, so with the antagonist in the narrative of my poker world here was out of position after I called it. So I check flop, he bet turn. I have under pairs to the board. He bet turn small, and then on flop, he went into his, what will you call? Will you call it 20?
Right.
And I
Right.
stayed silent. He made essentially a sizing tail undersized bet. I 5-dexed it, turning this region into a bluff and folding.
Yay. Yay from learning from the solver.
So the point is, I was shitting on the solver before, but this is something I've learned from this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So these are all, and so I assume that other one is going to be pocket fours, the one just to the bluff just to the left of that one. That's our five.
To the left of this.
Go to the right, the left of where we were. Go to the right of where you are. That one. That's gonna be pocket fours. Yep. There we go. Those are, and then the next set of bluffs come from the next set up.
Okay, and then you want to see what the next set is.
Eh,
So we've got some kind of equity there, right?
Right. Yep.
It's really shitty equity, but we got some kind.
Yeah.
We got a gutter.
Yep. Straight draws. Okay. Find a little bit of the straight draws.
And then we got bottom pair with a 9,
Bottom
10
pair.
with a backdoor OESD.
Yeah.
But these are mixing, right? These feel like they have equity to call.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
All right. So
So I feel good about my 1/3 size, and I went slightly bigger than 1/3, and it does a third and a half. So I feel great about
he's
my
supposed to call, right?
This is after, yeah,
Three
after
of
all we said
diamonds.
about solvers. Look at how good I feel that when the solver pats me on the head and says you were
I
right.
was gonna say this is also, I think, the siren call of the solver.
It is.
We all are in this incredibly complex game. We all want to prove we made the right choice,
Yes.
unless you're like Jonathan Jaffe.
Right.
And for that reason, that is another silent call of the solver. Okay, so turns of 3,
Yep.
and he's checking his range.
Mm-hmm.
And you love this turn.
I love that turn.
And what side did you choose in game set?
I chose 75%, my friend.
All right, so 75%.
Yeah.
Is definitely you nailed it. That's
Oh,
the
man.
primary size for your range. And also shout out to you as we again answer the siren call of the solver. Notice that you have so much equity, you're using a smaller size, whereas the aces with some sense of ability for desire for protection are doing a lot of B125s.
Right. And then pocket aces decide they want, oh, the pocket aces do the same thing. They do
Yeah,
the,
pocket aces actually are
They're the
The
70.
invulnerable pocket aces are doing
Yeah.
what we spoke about.
Yeah.
But so you found it to be 75?
Mm-hmm. And going on the pocket kings for just a second.
Sure.
Let's just learn what the difference is with the king of spades and not with the king of spades. Let's just see how that changes it. If you have the king of spades, so without the king of spades, if you have the king of spades, you're allowed to check.
Yeah, you
Want to, but
I
you're
think that's a
allowed to check
protection
with
issue,
king.
right?
Yeah.
There's less suck out potential,
Yep.
so you're gonna check, you're gonna trap a little bit.
Yeah. And I didn't. And the majority size is the 75, and there's some 125, and I went for the 75. Fine.
So
In reality, what I actually went was, I believe, 66, but the opening one was a little bigger. So
he's 75.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to
300, 460.
get
So
out dodge. Let's look at his, so he's supposed to call here. He's got nice. Doesn't have any.
he
No
just calls
straight.
he calls his best king, his best aces,
He calls his best ace everything else.
and he folds his worst aces because he now goes, it's ace against ace most of the time.
Yeah. And then so he calls.
But he folds all of his flush draws here. So I don't have to, so against solver, I don't have to worry about any of them except the 5-4, something like that, right? Click on his suited spades. What has he got? Just any flush draw at all.
He's not, he's calling flush draw nuts.
His king, queen is, yeah, the ones that has
With
the
a pair.
with a pair or with a straight draw also.
Yeah.
And the 5-4, which is also a straight draw.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
folded out all his middle ones.
Yeah. It's interesting he's calling this. I don't know if that makes sense. He's
Alright.
got 4 outs to the 3 outs to the nuts. So
And 4 outs to the winning hand.
and 4 outs to the winning hand. Yes.
I mean, yes, sometimes it's flush over flush, but it's just not.
So yeah. So do you want to look at any other region here?
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
other hand class?
Oh, no. That's what I wanted to see.
Okay. Okay. And I'm too tired to think clearly anyway, so. So I'm not gonna deep dive. Call. Now this is the money
Yeah.
question, right?
Yep.
Now I wish I had river report so we could see how bad this card is. Now let's do an over under on donking. We have another guest.
All right.
Mike's here. Hey Mike. So let's do an over under on donking.
Okay. I think I think there are donks. I think the spade flushes donk sometimes.
I think this card is so yeah, I was hoping you'd say no, we could bet,
Right.
but we agree.
Okay.
The-
Do an over under. I'll choose. We'll do over under. I'll choose the donk percent.
Oh
I'm
God.
donk percent at 15% donks.
Okay, I'll take 25.
Oh, you just have to take the over. You just say over.
I'll take the over.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
I don't know how over under works. It just sounds really cool.
It's-
I guess
a
it's
good
just a
gambling
binary
game.
choice over or
Yeah.
under a specific number.
Yes, the only gambling bet that's better than over under is Loudon Thinks. Loudon Thinks is a fabulous game.
So, Mike, are you on the call?
I am.
Did
I
you
just got on.
Okay, so you didn't see this hand.
No.
Okay, so this is a hand he played. Scotty played live, and this is like he's getting the 10 of spades on the plot on the river, and it's we're arguing this equity shifted card. So here we go.
Yeah.
No, we were
Not a
both
single
wrong.
donk. So I win with the under. So you
You
lose
win with the under.
15%. Yeah.
So he checks his entire range, which kind of makes sense, right? Because you're polarized. You're not that polarized. I don't know. All right, check. Now, yeah, you're back. All in. You don't care.
Yeah. I'm just the worst player in the world. Yep.
Join the Well, you know,
Yeah.
that's why you're in a study group.
Yep.
Now, let's see what the equity is here. It's significant. The equity is significant. Let's see the EV.
Yeah.
88.60. That correlates pretty strong to equity. I think it could correlate as a numerical number.
Yeah.
I know EV is just a calculation. It's just a very simple formula, but yeah, you lost the 25 chips, but he wasn't going to call you anyway. So let's be
Ah.
results oriented.
So here's the thing about this, which is, here's the adjustments to the solver output here. Our guy is going to have more flush draws than the solver does here.
Yeah, yeah, you're
He
right.
folds fewer of his flush draws. The
Let's
solver,
look what is his range here. Let's see what his range is composed of when he gets here. Let's do it this way. He is out of position.
Yeah.
It's 10% of his range.
right?
And your argument is that, yeah. So his 3-bet calling range, free, is much wider than solver
Yes,
and is composed of lots of suited combos.
yes. And the solver folded a lot of flush draws on the turn.
Which
He
a
kept-
human will not do.
Yeah, he kept his pair plus flush draw, and he kept his flush draw plus gut shot. And my guy calls all his flush draws there, I believe.
Yeah, valid.
I still think my play was a mistake.
But let's talk about let's look at two things. Let's look at
Mhm.
where your betting threshold is in theory. And I think the other thing that this is this polarized situation here. But we could see your betting threshold for value, which is pretty high. It's top 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your betting threshold for value is top 2.
Mhm.
And then this is a weird space where you got a blocker.
Yeah, that's
So
still
ace
for,
queen's got a very important blocker to both the straight and the flush.
yeah, it's still for value.
This is for value. Yeah,
Yeah.
Even though its equity is below 50%, it is for value, but the blocker is so important to the solver, it's choosing it.
And it's the queen, it's specifically, you need the queen of spades blocker.
Yeah, it's such a key blocker card.
Right.
And then you quickly get into, and then you're down to
Here, you
10%.
need a blocker again. These are still for value. These are
No, this is bluff. This is equity 10%.
wow, I'm bluffing. You're bluffing a pair of aces.
No, this is ace jack.
Yeah, ace jack. That's not a bluff.
Aces might be down here though. No, aces are set.
Yeah,
Aces
no,
are
no, I meant
absolute.
you're bluffing a pair of aces.
Oh, a pair of aces.
You're
Yes,
bluffing top, you're bluffing top.
yes, you're turning your top
Yes.
pair into a
Right.
bluff.
And so I don't think, and so that's what I'm disagreeing with. I don't, you're saying that this is a bluff with an ace blocker to block him from having,
It's a blocker to the flush.
all right, there you
Blocker to
go.
the flush and the straight. Well, we know it's a bluff, Scotty.
Yeah.
Because we can see what the equity is. We could see
Yeah.
I guess technically the perceived equity.
Right. Okay. That's a
So
bluff.
because we see the equities here
Yeah.
and at 10%, we know it's a bluff.
Right.
We can't describe it any other way.
So I'm trying to get ace queen to fold. I'm trying to get 2 pair to fold.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
your blocker, and we can also confirm that because let's look at the blocker with ace jack. Well, let's look at ace jack specifically, right?
Yeah.
Ace jack, okay, and notice checking back, we never get here,
Mhm.
but you can see it's 100% check back without.
Yeah, but that makes sense. See, that makes sense that you need the spade blocker. I would just still call this, I would just think that you're still betting, you're trying to get called by ace ace 10 and ace 9. I guess you're trying to get called by ace 8. And in the solver, he never has that. He's folded that away already.
Yeah, that's not that.
Yeah, so again, that's inaccurate to our game. This ace
Fair.
jack, while you can bet this ace jack with a jack of spades safely, I mean, it's a good bet. I think you
Yeah.
get called sometimes by worse. I think you get called by ace eight occasionally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Queen is a bluff.
It's a pure bluff.
Queen,
Equity
queen.
0.
Yeah, queen's a bluff. You're beat. That's why you need a spade to do it, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why you need speed. Yeah, turning
Yeah.
into a bluff. Let's find the human is doing that.
Oh,
So, but so how do you feel about your check back?
I think it's a mistake.
I
Um,
I think,
I
I
think,
mean,
but I don't think it's a huge mistake. I think it's a mistake.
well, yeah, it's like getting check raised there would be so miserable.
Well, it's not check raise because remember, it's an all in. That's your only option from the solver.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I-
yeah, for the solver.
To get called, I needed to bet less because that was the other thing I thought was when I was looking at it, I was going, I don't think an ace is going to call my jam. And I think what he has here, he has an ace here and he has a flush here.
Cause you had a pot size bet left.
Yeah, this is the hand, by the way. Let me show the hand here.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay, let me go to there. Go to here. Go to share. So this is the hand that I'm losing my mind over. Limp, raise, 3-bet the kings, fold, call, flop a set, check, bet, call for third, back at 40%, check, bet 66%. Should have been 75, that's fine. Call river. The queen jack comes in, which I don't care about, but the flush comes in when I do. He checks, and I think forever, and then I check behind, like an old man coffee. And this was that live hand I played, and there was a whole lot of extraneous reasons why I checked behind, but we were looking in on the solver of how bad a mistake was this. And yeah, it's a mistake. And what it just. So
Yeah.
that's the hand. All right.
Interesting.
Should we do a different hand? You want to go, Larry?
Yeah, I got a hand. I
All
got a
right.
hand. Mike, you got a hand?
Mike always has hands.
Oh, geez. I mean, you ever need a hand, I'm your guy.
Right. Yeah. So
Mike,
yeah,
you missed me spouting out about human beings in live poker and how annoying they are. And Scotty having to be my live poker therapist for an hour and a half. Thank you, by the way, Scotty.
you're welcome.
That was
Like our time
very
is up.
valuable, and I do appreciate it sincerely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd have to say, Larry, I'm on your side. One thing about playing live is dealing with some of the people that you deal with.
Yeah, the humans are so fucking annoying. Do you guys want to start with the very fun? I thought so. There's another guy that on Twitch that looks at my hands and he loves a new format every once in a while because he's a smart guy. You guys want to look at a bomb pot real quick?
Sure.
All right. Kind of coach that by saying he's a smart guy. You want to be a smart guy. You want to look at the fucking bomb pot.
Nicely done.
I didn't do that. Maybe subconsciously I did that. So this is real. So I'm playing bomb pots on ACR.
Right.
This is no limit hold. This is not PLO.
Yep.
Because double board PLO bomb pots, as I've probably said 100 times, are integral to the game here. And if I'm going to be a profitable player,
Yes.
I need to understand how to play them.
Yes.
So bomb pot. What is this? 36 bigs in the middle.
Yep.
Now I got a first question. Is this our favorite hand in a bomb pot?
This is our favorite hand in the bomb pot.
It is not.
Yeah, probably not, right?
I'm going to argue this is not our favorite
I
hand in the
got
bomb
you.
pot.
No, I know what you mean. Yes. Yes. This is our favorite hand when we get to be able to eliminate people pre-flop. Now we want to make the nuts, and aces is rarely the nuts. Yeah.
So I ran this at equity calculator.
Yeah.
And
Jack 10
I've
suit.
got, everybody else has like 10% equity and I with any two.
Yeah.
Because everybody has any two here, right?
Yeah.
I've got 36% equity and any two, each of them have like 10%. That's nice.
So here's the thing. not in equity, but in equity realization. So aces is the highest equity hand you can have against 9 other players. There's nothing better against 8 other players.
Free,
But
yeah.
for making money, it's not the most one because it's hard to fold, it's hard to fold. Whereas the Jack 10 suited in hands like that, if you've made the nuts. And what hand makes more nuts than any other hand? Jack 10 suited. Yes, no, maybe not.
Yes, so I had an argument with, not an argument, I had a debate with this guy online, is he value heavy? He was advocating ace 5 suited,
Oh,
and I was advocating Jack 10 suited.
No, ace 5. I mean, if you're going to do ace 5 suited, you might as well do ace 10 suited.
Well, ace 5 suited gives you the wheel.
Yeah, but ace 10 suited gives you Broadway.
Yeah,
king suited.
yeah.
Right.
Good point.
It should be ace. Yeah, it should be ace. If it's going to be that you need to make Broadway, you need to make the nuts that way, the nut flush, ace 10 is better than ace 5. Ace king is better than ace 10, but then nobody else can have the king high flush to go all in against you. You need all those factors.
Yeah, I'm not going to flushes with that.
Yeah. So you'd have to, you don't want to do just an equity calculator because you got to do what do they go to the river? What goes all in? All right, go on.
Oh yeah, it's a super simplified.
You have aces and you're happy. You're happy right now.
Yeah. And so the question is, how do you play aces?
Depends on what the.
And this hand is also interesting because we'll get to see their combos.
Right.
So we like having the diamond.
Yeah.
You can't really see it here, but each time this blinks, it's a check. A
Right.
check on me, I think. What are you guys doing?
I'm betting.
So
yeah.
is this a better check? Or is this a better bet? Or is this a better check shove?
Well, you are in trouble against the 2 pair that is out there.
True.
So
I'm behind. I'm in 2 pair sets. Yes.
so if you're behind that, do you
I'm
want
behind
to
2 pair sets and coincidentally Jack 10 diamonds.
you're flipping, but what I mean is this: if you're willing to get it all in,
So this is where the dead money equation comes in.
yeah,
The dead money equation results in a lot of motivation to just, your pot odds are all of a sudden really
Right.
motivated to involve them.
Yeah, Larry, I think I like your you often have this theory, philosophy of checking here or in a lot of spots like this and just getting info from others.
Yeah, that's from Jonathan Jaffe, and I think it's vital.
yeah,
And I think that applies here.
okay,
And after I've advocated a check raise, I bet.
okay.
So I came into the betting world, right? And I mean, what do you do? You don't know if any of the people can bet. But in retrospect, I would have preferred a check shove here.
Right. So if you bet here and you get shoved on, is your intention to call or to fold?
How many people?
Just one guy shoves. If
I
it goes
call.
shove call, you're folding. We have that. You
I
bet.
call with the backdoor equity.
Okay.
Yeah, I call with the backdoor equity.
All right. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
So yeah. So 1, 2. Well, let me ask you a question before I go on. Do you guys think that my preferred play here would have been a check shove? Do you think that's a better play than this one? Or do you think I'm off base?
A check and then
A
decide.
check and then
I
a
don't think
shove over a bet.
yeah, like you could be check calling, you could be check shoving, you could be check folding.
Yeah, because if you go check, someone bets and someone else shoves. I don't think
That
you.
situation's different.
I don't think you want to call the shove.
I could see that. I could see getting away from that. But I was thinking essentially the option I think that is better here is to check. And let's say, what is most likely to happen? Check. Someone in the back seat here is going to try to steal
Mm-hmm.
with some kind of marginal equity, like Gurley or Gunnar. And the pot is a very common size. position is so important in this format. It's much more important than an LHE regular hand. And
Yeah.
so one of these guys is going to try to steal, common size his pot, and then I'm going to shove that way. That's,
Okay.
but that may not happen. I may be giving a free card.
Mhm.
But I'm advocating for, I think, a check. No.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I made my point. We get 4 callers, not ideal.
Joey says that you're behind right now. That's what Joey says.
Joey says,
Yeah, Joey's thing doesn't apply to this kind of situation.
Okay.
I mean, you've got 9 players with random hands as opposed to some kind of raised pot where, that's totally different. But yes, I
Number of
mean,
hands
your
that-
equity here is probably really shit.
yeah, we got chicken. We like that no one raised.
Yeah.
We up, well, I know what, I'm not gonna talk about what we're up against because I know the cards. And now turn comes. Check. Check. SPR 0.75. Broken stack. I'm sorry, we can't see this guy's stack. I can't tell you what it is. And this, and whatever, full stacks relatively. What are you guys doing? And we have, essentially, I think we have 2 options.
Yeah, we have shove and check. And if we check and get shoved on by the 27, we're calling instantly. And if we check and get shoved on by the 71, we're gonna think for a second.
So I went to my shell here, and I think I'm comfortable with this. The massive multi-way, any 2. Especially because we've got 18% of the nuts.
But that's the important thing now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got 18% of the nuts.
Mhm.
So I chose check.
Okay, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
And then we get a very, yeah, this is, it's 82, right? So who knows? So check, check. Second to last to act. What do you guys do?
Shove. Shove.
Shove?
No, yes, shove.
Mike, any thoughts?
I don't know that that's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the 4 pairing is a concern, really.
Yeah, that's valid because
It's, in
it's
fact, it might
turnover.
even be good for you. I don't think anybody's sitting here with 4x. Like, what would it
Actually,
be?
you know what? It is good for us. You know why?
Yeah,
because
because
you
you
can't
Counterfeit
counterfeit.
a queen 9, queen 3.
Right.
Exactly.
That was what I liked about it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I didn't was I thought about, I said, was just thinking, are there any flushes up front who went for a check raise that that now got scared of a full house, because when the diamonds checked through, we went, okay, probably not a flush out there.
But we like,
I like the 4.
like, we're gonna have to call off on turn if anybody shoves, so I like my check here.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then I check.
Yeah.
I did not feel like this hand had, and I don't think I was far enough up in my value range for single over
Okay.
pair. Well, 2 pair technically.
Yep.
And this is what, so this makes sense. Pretty
Yep.
shitty. Probably too light, or maybe with the jack of diamonds, you could argue it's fine.
Yep.
This guy, obvious, open ender,
Yep. And a 10 of diamonds. Good.
and this guy was the short stack, not surprisingly, was out to win.
All right. Yeah. So you don't get called.
Yeah, I don't get called.
Right. You bet the turn. If you bet the turn, the jack 10 might come along.
Yeah,
King jack might come along. Probably not.
so you can argue for a shove on turn.
Yeah.
So
Now go for the check. If you want to go for the check raise, I don't think you get it.
no, I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
think
check
anything
raise on
bets.
turn. I would have preferred and on flop, you're right, I wouldn't have gotten from the 19.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think.
Oh, that was that free? No, that was. These guys just forward, yeah.
Yeah, those guys. I think those guys don't have. I mean, yeah, maybe somebody goes for it, but also in their going for it, they've got to realize there's 8 other hands out there. Somebody's got something, and there's 8 other, their ability to steal is way the hell down.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yep.
You see a lot. So, and also I think my mind is trained a little bit on PLO double with bomb pots.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah,
hand
PLO the aces is nothing.
this is shit, yeah. So anyway, I thought I'd share a
Yep.
novel format because we're pretty focused on the one that hold him. I got one more hand and I'll hand off to Mike. Is that all right?
Yep.
This all right, this is okay, this is the Peter Clark classic. Call down, bottom blind.
What
Hand is
happened?
more interesting. Would you
what
guys
happened-
rather see kings or would you see hero stationing?
In both.
See both.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so clear open. I'm checking a lot here, but I maybe it becomes a simplified blind versus blind, but it's very effective. People can go off.
Mm-hmm.
He checks. It's a card. This is a super common size blind versus blind
Right.
in my pool. Do you guys see a lot of these 75s? Blind versus blind on English.
No, I see the stat. I see a lot of half pots,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
it's not rare.
Yeah. We have, I would argue with this turn.
Hmm.
B75, just hero.
Yeah.
Clark.
Player dependent.
I do a lot of,
Peter Clark advocates heroing.
yeah, I do a lot of folding here, but that's fine. Call is okay. I mean, he's
And
bluff
he has
he's
a good
making
bluff, right?
size.
I bluff that too. I bluff it the same way.
Yeah. Yep.
But I mean, so Peter Clark he advocates super wide in this dynamic, in this configuration.
Yeah.
And you guys can decide if it's right for you, but I'm showing you one sample.
Yeah.
But-
So you raised pre-flop. So he has a somewhat filtered, not that much filtered, range here. So it's not like he's only got the pieces. Oh, he's blind. Yeah, it's not like he has any two here.
Let's guess what his range is supposed to be. I'm guessing he's supposed to have 35% of cards.
Uh,
What's your guess?
I'll
I know
take
the
the
I,
over.
I know the range. I haven't pictured it. Yeah, I think it's more like 50.
50?
I
So I'll
take
go
the over, but not quite
I'll go
50.
I'll go 49. I'll go 49 to Price is Right you.
Yeah. I'll take 36.
I think it's 30. I think it's 40.
All right, let's see what it is.
Well, you said 35 already, so.
Oh, I did. I should have stuck with my 35.
Oh,
Ugh.
no, 35 is the call. Oh, right, he only called. You're right, 35. I did. You know why I was wrong? And this
You're
is true.
including the
Obviously,
raises?
I'm full of shit here, but I wasn't picturing his calling range. I was picturing the VPIP, the continue range. I thought,
Okay.
how much do you get to fold here? I go, you only get to fold about half.
Yeah, you fold.
Yeah, I forgot that. All right.
Okay. Okay. That's okay. One more. We'll hit it to. I don't remember this hand. Oh, it's always interesting to have games against the limper out of position.
Yeah.
I don't remember this hand.
Poster.
I am good. I'm sizing down here because I like having kings.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. It's fine.
Sure.
I think. I'm sizing down here because I want him to call, as opposed to a larger size I would use with air. Now I guess this is why I have this hand.
All right.
All right, we're not folding. Agreed.
No, we're certainly not folding now. We may get folded by the
So
river.
many bluffs available.
Yeah.
And he's a limp caller.
It wasn't a limp, by the way. It was a post.
Was it?
Yeah. He checked.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Okay, so then that advocates for huh?
Yeah.
Not greatest card, check. Yeah, whatever. This is why this hand is interesting. Um,
and he checked the river. Or he bet, yeah, he just bets out on it.
E75s.
Call.
Yeah, quick call, right?
Yeah, you're beat sometimes.
Ah, 7%.
Yeah.
He got lucky when he posted.
Yeah, he got very angry.
No one got luckier than me, did they?
Yeah.
I hit
Yep.
my 2 AI.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Larry, I'm questioning your strategy of sizing down with your premiums.
Well, yeah, let's talk about it.
I get why. I understand why. I'm not saying it's like wrong or anything. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like
I'm always open
berating
to an
you.
alternative.
I'm trying to kind of argue for making your sizings. If you're going to change it by going bigger against fish that call too wide. And I think when you do, and again, like, or just going normal size, like if you go 5 with tens there, let's say, go 5 with kings as well, instead of sizing down, because you're getting more money into the pot with your premiums. The sizing down part is you're taking value away, so to speak.
Yeah,
I guess that kind of ties right into the whole, magnitude versus frequency kind of thing. I guess it's
it does. It
similar.
does. So, magnitude trumps frequency. So, I agree. And I go back and forth on this. And
So,
there's a couple people I follow who are advocating going bigger in.
Do what?
Who do advocate going bigger, not smaller.
You do?
in
Yeah, I
this,
feel like I've heard that.
yeah, in this specific case, though, I think that there's an argument to be made, which is he didn't limp. If he posted and checked, his range is so he's got a weaker than a big blind range right now.
Yeah, it's got any too.
Yeah. So with that, you want to size closer to what you would size against the big blind, and then just up a little bit, because normally you increase your size, for the poster, and you need to increase your size for out of position. But that's for your whole range. In this, I don't hate it in this one, in this specific case,
Because he's posting, not living.
posting, not limping. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like it better. I would like it. I would be more comfortable with the argument being made if you were in position to not go for the full 4.5.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, I think your argument's valid.
Yeah.
So we could already put him into the fish world because he's posting. You
Mhm.
can't wait 45, 83 minutes.
Yeah.
So, oh, and by the way, I have a question. Can I ask you guys a live question real quick? And then I'm going to pass it to Mike.
Yeah.
This is a quick one. So I go take a break. I come back to the table. I sit down and I miss my big thing, right? I got up right from my big blind.
Yep.
I come back and I'm then given the option to wait for the big blind to come around or post and play.
I know what Scotty's going to say.
What is socially acceptable?
Socially,
Waiting. So waiting is socially acceptable, absolutely. And if you
What do you think, Mike? You have an opinion?
and you're talking live, right?
live, but not a casino.
This is live play.
Live, but what?
It's a live play in a timed game in Austin.
Oh, wait, it's a timed game? Oh, yeah, but you still have to post. Right, you have to post because
It's timed right, yeah.
Yeah, you asked the question, is it what's socially acceptable? And I'm like kind of thinking, I don't think that has anything to do with it. Are you worried about what people are going to think? Like, what do you mean by
Well, I should give you some background, like this is a new club. So do you know how poker rooms work in Texas?
no?
So poker rooms in Texas only exist because they live within the legal purview of being a private club. And so Texas says our hands are off. Do whatever you want in your private club, as long as you're charging a monthly fee or a daily fee. And as long as you don't charge it. So because we're a private club, which has some kind of history, I guess, in the state, they can charge time break and there is no regulation. Right? There's no regulatory body looking over it.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. That's fine. I just don't know why,
But
you know,
then
missing your
here's the next
blinds
point I
and
was gonna make.
posting is socially, like, something could be wrong with that.
And here's the next point I was gonna make. So because this is a new club, they only get one table a night. The winner plays, and it's so essentially now it's a home game. And because it's a home game, there's politics, right? You could be someone they don't like in the game. You could be someone they really like, which I hope I am now, even despite the story I just told Scotty previously. Because if I'm really like, the owner calls me when the fish shows up and says, "Hey man, fish is here. There's 2 spots left."
I see where you're going with this. Yeah, then in that case, if that affects like your standing as a player, whether you get invited or, you know, that sort of get benefits, if you say, as opposed to sitting out and waiting for your blinds to come and they notice that and think that you're a nit of some kind or whatever, yeah, then yeah, good point.
But so I'm not sure. So the reason I asked this is because there was an antagonist in the previous story, and I sat down and he he presents himself as the table captain live player, and it said, you know, I said to him, essentially my preference is probably to sit out and just adjust my brain. And he says that's nitty. It's considered nitty to sit down and wait for your blind to come over. You need
He
most
said
people-
that to you?
Yeah. Well, I asked the question. I asked him the question. I wanted to know what he thought. And I was like, okay, right, that's something to know. It could be angling me, right? Because he wants to see me post and I don't know what to do. So what do you guys think?
I think you bring up good points about, you know, posting for those reasons. Otherwise, I would be like, you know, fuck everybody. But like you said, in the casino, it's different because you do what you want to do and don't give 2 shits about what anybody thinks. But here,
There's
it
politics.
matters.
Yeah, there's a little bit of politics.
Yeah.
What do you think, Scotty?
So, I think it's perfectly fine to wait for the blind. And the way, if there's any sort of tension at the table, the way I would do it is I would time my coming back to the table.
Right before my blind comes up.
I'd get up, go to the bathroom, and I would, glance at the table and then either, be on my phone or talk to somebody, then go back to the table for my blind.
That's a good plan. That's a simple solution.
Mm-hmm.
I like your solution the best. Just time,
And what did the guys- and-
be diplomatic. Time I approach back to the table.
Yeah.
As at UTG.
Yeah, and I missed one thing. I missed when you did it, I missed what was said to you about
He
posting.
said he essentially said it's nitty.
He said, well, you're like, so you sat there and said, I'll wait for my blind. He goes, well, that's nitty.
No, I asked.
Oh, you said,
This is before we had an open confrontation.
oh, you said,
This is a couple
"Is it
days
okay
ago
if I
before
wait
we
for my
had an open
blind? And the guy goes,
confrontation.
it's kind of nitty, like that.
Yeah. That's what
Oh,
I
I would just take that as just straight ribbing and not post. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is kind of nitty. You go, yeah, that sounds like me. Okay, great. Yeah, I'll wait.
Okay.
Yep, just take it. That's what I do. I mean,
Essentially, my question came down to, is that egregious? And I
it's
think
absolutely not egregious. There's no chance it's egregious.
And so that's really, and what I'm hearing is no.
Yeah.
And Mike makes a very good point. Who gives a fuck? Because it's in a casino environment. Here, there's a little bit of politics. So
And if you're worried about the feeling, this is the point at which I would worry about the feeling. Some guy who goes nitty says that's kind of nitty, and the other people at the table go, yeah, I mean, when we all play in this 5, it's not a good game. So I mean, it's kind of messing up the game. That's when someone else comes in. So like when the table starts to say, we're all doing this. It's like when the table is says, let's put on the straddle.
Yeah.
You don't want to refuse.
See, the guy doesn't straddle it.
Yeah. And if there's one other person who isn't straddling, you might say, well, if not everybody's gonna do it, I really don't want to do it, so let's not. But that's different than saying, well, if he's not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. The rest of you can, but I'm not gonna do it either. That's getting pretty close to the line of being the guy who won't do it.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I just gotta read it. I gotta read the room a little bit. It's not about reading the room.
Yeah.
And
But one guy saying that it's nitty is absolutely not saying that it's out of policy. That's especially that guy.
okay, last question I promised for today.
Yeah.
About live poker.
I'll take the over.
What is in the head of someone who wants to straddle? Who are they and why in the hell would they want to do that?
I have an answer for this. Mike, do you want to give your answer first?
No, I never play straddle, so I don't have
Right.
any real.
I came to play poker to gamble. If we were playing craps, I'd be playing craps, but I don't have a craps game. And I want to gamble for more money.
Got it.
That's why you post. I want to be playing for more money. The other reason you do it is if you're down and you need the pots to be bigger for you to get back up, and you care less about losing more money than you do about being down, you do it.
So it is pure DJ.
Right. Now, here are the exceptions. If you sit down at a table and you say, let's all straddle, you're saying, I want to play a bigger game than this is, and this is how I'm going to get it to happen. That's why the game that I play in at the casino is a 3-5-10. Everyone plays the 10 because they all wanted to be playing 5-10 if they could, but the casino doesn't have a 5-10 game.
Got it.
Okay. And then people also do it on winner's tilt.
Yeah.
You know,
sense.
DJ.
Yeah.
And then the last time you do it is if you're not straddling under the gun, but you're allowed to straddle in any position, straddling on the button is not as big a disadvantage as you think.
Oh, that's an advantage.
Yeah, the button straddle.
It kills the blinds. The blinds, you essentially killed the blinds.
You pay some money to, you up the hands, but you up the hands when you're in position, and you just absolutely make the blinds just in terrible shape.
They banned that you got banned button blinds, button straddles in Texas.
Yeah, they have button straddles in the 1-2-2 game at Lucky Chances, and you just go, oh, so then I'm just going to fold everything in the blinds, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's a worse one. There's the Mississippi straddle. I think that's the killer one. That's where the button straddles and the small blind goes first.
That would be the only one, right?
Yeah, no, the way they do it in our casino is this: the button straddles and it goes like this. Under the gun, hijack, low jack, hijack, up to the button, then cutoff goes, then small blind, then big blind, then button. So the small blind doesn't have to play first, but they play before the button.
Yeah.
That's what the button straddle buys you in the 1-2-2 game at Lucky Chances. And I think it's still a bad idea, but it's not as bad as an under the gun straddle, which is just always bad.
So yeah, and my first question is getting to the head of someone, and you just gave me a full explanation. They're gambling.
Yeah, I'm here to gamble.
Yeah. It's degen. It's a degen life choice.
Degen behavior. Yes. Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Now, why you would do that? One last thing on this. Why would you do that in a room where you could get into a bigger game? And I don't.
Yeah.
And I wonder if I've seen it. I wonder if I've seen straddles in the lower game. I don't notice because I rarely am playing in the lower game, so I don't know. I don't know if
I need to adjust to it because all of a sudden your SPR gets crazy.
Yeah, straddles are good. Straddles are good for the game.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's good to be in a game where people straddle.
Because they're gambling.
One, they're putting in more money than you are because you're not straddling. So this is not a game with straddles. This is a game where people straddle. Different thing. Two, somebody wins a lot of more money. Somebody is up and could be on winner's tilt, and that's good. Somebody could be down and on loser's tilt, and that's good.
Got it.
The
That makes
inflate,
sense.
it's like, imagine you did the following thing. You were gonna play a game, but the first hand, we're all gonna put a full stack in blind. So everyone's gonna be down one stack and someone's gonna be up 900. How are they gonna play for the rest of the day?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's any indicator of degen, if you're
Yes.
playing a strategy game, you
Right.
love it.
Yes, exactly. And so it's all those things. Okay.
Thanks, man. Once again, thanks, guys.
All right. Mike, hand,
Yeah.
show us some hands.
So as I was just quickly trying to pull some up, this one's not so much about strategy, but I want you to see something.
Okay.
So let's watch what happens.
Mhm.
Okay, so we get this here, this, okay, boom, standard.
Good.
Okay. All right, not surprising.
Yep.
All right. Okay, whatever. This is what we do. And see that fold up there? So we wind up losing, but check this out.
Mhm.
Oh,
Whoa.
can you go through the action again? So we've got,
Oh,
he's got a catch. So this is a guy who doesn't know how to play poker because he does not, he's only worried about a trap of 2 cards. 6 combos.
All right. Isn't that amazing?
how big,
That-
and he's at 90 big blinds. Yeah, he's just, wow, that is amazing.
And 2 hands. I mean, this is like one of the first hands of the session. So
What is,
that was weird. Okay, so anyway, that was
Poker's not dead.
All right, let's turn these off here.
so I guess what he's doing there is he does the call with the intent to play the flop strong if no ace comes. When this guy goes 30 and you call, maybe then he throws in his 100. But when it goes call and you jam, he goes, that's only aces. He in the old days, that was only aces.
Ah. That's only a trap.
Right. Not from you.
Well, from the
From the
ostensibly
combination of the two
tap
of you.
player.
Yeah. I mean, really, you weren't trapping. You've been playing strong. You only have aces there, and he mostly only has aces there, and maybe kings, and I block kings. Nobody plays this way with any other hand. Is old style. The fifth bet in the old style was only aces.
I see. You ran
Yeah.
into an old man coffee.
Wow.
This one here is we raise, we get min from this guy, nothing on him yet. Early position, king 10 suited. Let's call.
Yeah, even if it's a fold, we just call there. And the problem is we worry for a second about, is this aces? We worry a little bit about that, but sometimes.
Sure, it can be. It's part of the range, right?
Yeah, it's definitely.
But how much more stuff can it be? That's what we're
We don't
trying
know
to
this guy
gauge.
yet. Yeah. Yeah, we got to have seen whether he does bigger 3-bets, whether he's varying his size or that's just his size.
B50,
Call.
call, blankage, check.
Great.
All right. So here we are.
Is this in your value threshold? You don't really have any counter to set up with here. Block? Block looking for queen jack tens.
Okay.
What do you think, Scotty?
I think your best plays here are 8 big blinds, 12 big blinds, and 0 big blinds,
Yeah, I like blocker sizing.
all for different reasons.
Yeah.
And
Check.
against this particular guy in this particular situation, I want to do the check and call.
Yeah, I felt this fall. He had this. So this.
Yeah, yeah.
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 So you can kind of see where people get to a trap here. If you go back and look at the flop texture,
Mhm.
which maybe Scotty's referring to. There is not a drier flop. So if he's gonna have. And then, okay, so you call. Rainbow's dry flop, if he's gonna have a trap. Arguably, if you're gonna trap top pair, top kicker, this is the way.
Yeah. Now, what really kind of is throwing things is this min, the min
The min 3-bet.
re-raise, the
Yeah.
min 3-bet. So the player is not going to be a studied type player. And do we, like when we get here and he checks the turn, sure, of course you can have traps. But a lot of times population, and I'm putting them in the fish bucket, okay, the white belt bucket, the
Yeah.
fun player, the wreck bucket. They rarely do, protect their checking range, air quotes. Whether that's his intention or if he himself is scared or he is trapping, could be any of those. We could speculate his intentions all day long. But normally they tend to bet their value.
Yes.
So this was
yeah.
more of my question is, should I value bet?
I think there's a good reason to value bet here, and I think that checking is better.
Yeah.
And if I
Well,
had to,
you had some reasons, right?
yeah. And the reasons I would articulate them, and these are not in solver terms at all. It's not what we're going for here. Is that his small 3-bet is a lot. His small bet 3-bet is what we call polarizing.
Yeah.
It's not based on its size, but that's what I think he's doing it with. He's doing it with very good and pretty mediocre. Because he's being clever with very good and he's scared with mediocre. So it's the equivalent, so it has the function of a polarizing bet except for its size. You have the easy response to it because it's small to just call because it doesn't cost much. When he checks the turn, he's made it, that's a polarizing check in his mind. He's being cute, or he's got nothing. He's scared. You're betting there. You're betting small gets called by pocket fives, and pocket sixes in this case, sometimes. But it misses all of his cute. And you get so many folds from your bet that you don't need. And maybe he bluffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that. If this is I'd feel differently if this had gone bet call, you check, he bets, and you choose this combo of your king to be protecting your checking range. Then it goes check, check. Then I would have you bet on the river.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, because I claim that was a polarizing check.
Yeah, yeah. That's right.
A term that does not exist.
It does now.
Yeah. I'm going to use it all the time. All right. You have to call.
Yeah, I call here, and I don't normally raise 7-6 of hearts in that position. So I did
Even better.
taking the raise it and calling line here.
Yeah. So if you don't raise 7-6 here very often, then you have to call.
Yep,
If
exactly.
you raise 7-6 every time, then you don't have to call all of them.
Yep. So we get here.
You're not folding. And I don't want to check raise this one, even though it's within the world of check raise, I don't want to. If you do, I don't fault you. If you fold,
I don't remember. I don't know what I do here. As I'm looking at it, I have the exact same thoughts you just did. Like I could see me check raising right now. I could also see me calling.
Mhm.
I'm not going to fold.
Yep.
Is it because this king, like what would be my bluffs, right? My values obviously eights, fours. That's pretty much it, right?
You don't have king eight suited
No.
here. And you don't,
Yeah, I would have king eight suited. I would have king four suited.
you'd call the king four
Call
against
three
the
bet?
ace?
Oh, sorry. No, not to the three bet. Nope,
You got
never
three
mind.
bet. Yeah, you don't have king eight or king four anymore. You
Yeah,
folded
no,
those.
no, you're right. I don't.
You
So
don't have,
eights and fours are really my only value here.
right, and then the only kings you have are mediocre. You've got king queen suited here. That's your best king.
Mhm.
Um, and you
Yeah.
don't have ace king, so, yeah. Do it.
Obligatory.
Pull the trigger. Fire.
You have to, right?
Obligatory.
You don't have to, but if you want to be a good poker player, you do.
This would be Peter Clark's river blunder theorem, isn't that right?
Yeah, this is an absolute. Well,
What's
the
the
term he
response?
uses the term obligatory here.
Yeah.
He says obligatory.
Interesting size you chose.
Yeah, you can mix it up, mix up sizing.
The block bet bluff.
This is, I think Mark Gund uses this sometimes.
Now we know why we're doing it, right?
Yep, because you gain so much from a 10 jack folding. And a queen 10. You gain, you're not trying to get, you're not trying to get queens to fold. You're not trying to get nines to fold. You might not even be trying to get an ace to fold with this size. You might, but you're not trying to. You're trying
Yeah.
to get queen 10
I am.
and it's going to work.
Yeah, I think ace queen will fold here. I will. I'm pretty sure this is, like pretty much any unpaired hand is what I'm hoping to get folded here.
That's ambitious.
You would call with ace queen?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, in theory,
And
yeah.
some of my opponents do. That's the thing is I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna get mixed with ace high. You're gonna get mixed with ace high.
But if you wanted to, I'm saying if you wanted to get the ace high to fold, for sure, you're around the world of half pot. Did he call you with the nines?
Yeah, he called it the nine.
Yeah.
Which I would not have expected him to fold at nines.
Right.
It's
No.
purely all of his unpaired combos.
Yeah. And who knows what it is.
I think
Fred Wilson would know. Maybe 50% ace high.
Yeah. I think you trivially get all of his non-paired, non-ace combos to fold here.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming you did aces call you. I'm saying you trivially get all those and you may or may not get the aces at this size. I think that at the 3/4 pot, all the aces fold. And the nines think about it like that. And at the 200% pot, the nines fold.
What
And I'm
about
not-
sevens, sixes, fives, deuces? Well, they probably wouldn't have too many of those. I could see sevens maybe, but probably wouldn't have those.
I could call sevens here.
Okay.
To 9 big blinds. I could fold sevens to half pot, but that's fine. Yeah, I think given what you had in, that's a fine choice, and that time he didn't have what you want.
Yeah. And we know we're gonna get called up. We know we're gonna lose. We just, yeah.
And to get that to fold more, you have to do it more to get that to fold. All right, so 3.5 and not 4.5, even with the poster.
Yep. Early position, out of position, same theory. Raise sizing pre-flop is bigger in later position for me, like when I'm on button or I'm in position. In the early position, we're getting 3-bet a lot. We're playing against big blind less frequently. It's the same concept as raising smaller when you're in those early positions
Right.
versus in later positions.
I like it. That's a good reason.
If I'm in position to the poster or to the limper, it's 4.5 every time.
Yeah.
We get called in the small blind. We're getting some fishiness here, some fishiness.
Good.
They check.
Let me see the fishy numbers. Go over it. Let me see what the fishy numbers are. 41-0. Oh, that's a lot. That's very fishy. Okay, good.
17 hands, who knows? But starting to put a little bit of credence to it.
That's enough. 17 is enough when it's that extreme.
Yeah. I think we can bet or check here, probably versus typical, like once I see they're kind of fishy,
Mhm.
Unless I already think they're just going to be, spewy, I'll check. But typically I would see bet here just, and maybe
I
even,
like it. Yeah. Great. Tiny. Cool.
so be 25-ish, I guess. Be
Yeah.
25-ish.
Yeah.
Or it could be 30 with the rake taken out.
Tiny. Oh, size up. You want to check. Okay.
It checked. 5-6 gets there. I'm not really too worried about it though, but 7-8. But I'm kind of like probably torn between betting and
Yeah.
checking.
Yep. Oh, okay. I think this is super easy. Yeah, call.
Okay, yeah.
And
That
you
was
said,
easy enough.
and you lost less money than I would have.
Yeah, the turn check I think is probably the most questionable one.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I can keep going, you guys.
No, keep going. That was, by the way, that was really good. That hand. The way you play, the way you ended up playing. I would have bet the turn. I don't know when I would have folded, and how much money I would have lost. So good for you. But the river play, I think, is trivial. There's no raising there, and there's no reason to fold.
We have a broken stack. So this would typically be a 3-bet, the king 10 suited, but it's a broken stack versus a size up. So I don't think 3-betting, like your typical 3-bet bluff here.
How many hands? Just two?
Just two. But because of his broken stack, like you make this what, 10, 11 here?
Because I think you guys are good poker players. I'm going to advocate again that you would know so much more if you were playing on global, not to mention the 3% you're getting back. You'd know if this is default or not.
Yeah. All right.
And that would be so incredibly powerful because now you can ISO them.
Mm-hmm.
You can 3-bet it. You can isolate the fish.
I did 3-bet, and because of the shorter stack, I went with a smaller size.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know the rest of this hand. If it were me in this situation right now, probably mostly gonna c-bet. I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
I do. Okay.
Yep. Actually, very small. See bet. Okay.
B33.
Now let's talk about this for a second. Right?
Oh, with a rake. B33. Yes, that's a rake.
Let's talk about what you are. Let's talk about what you're constructing. When you make this sizing, are you thinking about your issues are SPR
Mm-hmm.
and how you're going to construct? This is a 2-street bluff. I
Yeah.
mean, is that what you're constructing here?
Yeah, I think we can, depending on turn, we don't have to automatically think we're just going to get it in no matter what the turn is. But
Agreed.
yes, the sizing is like I always look at SPR. Like this wasn't just, I don't think, just coincidence that this B33 also happens to put us at SPR of 1.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I agree. I'm a little bit talking out of my ass because I'm sleep deprived. But the other thing that's going on here is that with your brokerage stack, he is going to play quite face up, except with the very top of range, I think. So you're going to see a lot of check shoves with a good portion of his value range.
Yeah. I made it easy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Just fold.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Exactly.
So, but let's say he checks here. Let's say he checks, gets to me. I don't think this might be one of these cards where I don't.
Yeah, so his calling range clearly is, I mean, this completes two calls. This is a bad card. Completes two calls.
So let me make a really simple argument for why you should continue that is probably overwhelmed by the more complex argument. The simple argument is you picked up equity. That's what you do with bluffs. You mean when you bluff king 10 there, one of the reasons you're bluffing it is because you have an overcard and a backdoor straight. And then your
And
backdoor
also you are blocking you're blocking the straight. That's nice.
and so you're supposed to, I think I would like it better. I mean, not on a non-diamond, sure. And you can't always have what you want. But just on that simple argument, that's what makes these bluffs profitable, is that when, these backdoors, is that you continue when you pick up equity.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're just pressing buttons. But on the diamond, the fact that it's a diamond probably overwhelms that.
So far, so good.
Mhm.
Nothing to see here, or do we hate
I don't hate
the
anything
flop
about
return?
I don't hate anything about this. You're way ahead or way behind. And when you check there, you were checking to induce. So
What?
I liked it.
Interesting.
Huh.
Did I misread the hand or did he hear you on river?
He
He's
he
better.
bet. I checked. I
Okay.
induced. Yeah.
Oh, you do. All right.
Yeah.
I misread them.
Yeah, that one seems
Yeah.
okay. I'm not questioning this hand too
Yeah.
much. I think it was
No,
fine.
I mean, in my head, you were out of position, and as the three better out of position, you can do a lot of checking if you want. And this board is one that's reasonable to check. And you've got a marginally made hand because you can call a bet. You check, he checks behind, great. On the turn, when you pick up the king, you're now way ahead or way behind, and you're very rarely way behind because he's got to be slow playing eights or the 10 that he rarely does. But, you're also so far ahead, maybe he's got nothing. When he bets half pot, keeping his bluffs, and on the river, again, yeah, I don't think you need to jam that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
You guys, let's see what you think of this. I know what's going to happen here, and there's actually a couple in a row. This should be pretty quick, but
Okay.
so we got this. Here we go.
Let's go. We're up against aces or we're not.
So you would do that
Um,
or something smaller.
I would do something smaller. I don't hate that, but I would do something smaller.
So what would be your smaller?
Let's see. $35, 35, 40. Now, 35, 40 sort of violates the once a third of your pot of your stack is in, you got to put it in.
Mhm.
So I'm getting more towards the jam. So yeah, I guess 35 or jam, because 40 is 40 is jam. 40 equals jam.
What would you do with ace king? Either variety.
Jam.
Yeah.
What would I do with aces? 30, 35.
Then what other hands do you do 30, 35 with?
You shut up. I don't do ace five suited here. This is one of those situations where I have zero bluffs. I just have zero bluffs here. Ace,
Yeah.
king is a bluff. And that in this, so in my 35 range, do I have any bluffs? No, I just don't. I have aces and kings. And maybe queens and probably not, yeah, and maybe queens. That king jack is badly played.
Oh, did we see this one? We saw this one.
Yeah.
This is. We came across this in one of our sessions last week.
Yeah.
King, queen, small blind to a low jack.
I think it does a lot of folding.
We saw that it did like 50-50.
50-50 fold, 50-50 raise.
Yeah.
Okay, and no calling.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. All right.
What if you see these stats?
Okay. Let's see, what's his fold to 3-bet? 67? Go for it.
Yeah, I think these stats make me want to raise more than the
Yep,
fold.
he's raising,
the
yeah,
fold
yeah.
portion.
With his 24. There, yep, I like that. I'm good with a bet. I'm good with a check raise. I'm good with a check call, all that. When you do the bet, great. I'm not, let's see, it's at 48. We are gonna be ending up all in a fair amount of the time at this anyway. So, yep. 30 is so big. If we size up to 30, there's gonna be 100 in the pot with 7. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah, 30. You check, okay. You're checking with the intent not to fold, right?
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna fold to this guy.
Right, okay, good. Check, check, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't hate the check on the turn.
No, I prefer the bet, but I don't hate the check.
Yeah. Okay. Larry, you're awfully quiet.
Yeah, I was being trying to,
You were being kind. You didn't want to berate the play.
no, I was just, actually, I had a fix on how to reply to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah, I don't hate it, but I prefer the bet there.
Yeah. And then this
And
last one.
if you showed me his cards, then I love the bet there.
Yeah. Flat the AC.
Because you only have one good card that can come on the river.
Right.
You know what you gotta do.
Do you? Do we?
Well, no, because you're drawing to the nuts.
We
And
can,
it's,
but now we tend not to.
yes, and his size is big,
Yeah, against bigger sizing, we do it less often, so.
yeah. But there definitely is part of your range.
Yep.
Especially with a clean high five.
How about these stats? Do they do anything to you?
Not enough, man. 25 hands is not enough.
Yes, they do.
See, yeah, 25, that does not, yeah, I think you got a sample size
Yes.
problem.
I like to call more now.
Yeah, that was my thinking. I know 25 hands isn't much, but been pretty snug through these 25. Kind of like seeing the other guy that was 41-0 through 17 hands. We're kind of drawing some conclusions, even though we know it's not that much.
Right. But here's the thing about those, and someone else said it, but we've seen it in our replays. When people end up with any sort of extreme stat, it's been correlating with their play more than their hands. You know, you're in, you've got 18 hands on somebody and their VPIP is 80. They rarely got 80% good enough hands to VPIP.
Yeah, when you talk about extremes on the bell curve, you're right.
Right. Exactly. And that guy, you know, so the guy at 25, we didn't have anything to say about. It's like, yeah, that is just sure. Okay. But the other guy, but this at 8, you know, VPIP of 8. So he's played one. So in 25 hands. Yeah.
But-
He's played 2.
Yeah, I don't, I'm not a statistician.
Yeah,
You probably, you have more innate understanding of statistics than I do.
Yeah.
I may be off base, but I can't get away with it. It's a small sample.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm with you, Larry. I wouldn't put too much credence in this. However, I may have seen this bet, thought about check raising, maybe looked at these and was like, oh, he's been a little snug. Maybe the raise
Exactly.
isn't quite,
Yeah, and also factor 2, right? Size.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean. Is we started with the size and we went, we're going to do less raising against that. And now we're thinking about it. Then we look at his stat and we go, that's enough to make my decision.
It's
And then
like
some says, but it's only 25 hands. I go, it's still enough to make my decision.
it becomes 2 strikes. I see your
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Because it was,
I-
we were
Being
on,
combined, and also let's not forget, we are less motivated to fold out the top of this range when we're drawing the nuts.
Yeah.
This is a cooler hand. This is a full stack hand.
okay. This just got easy.
Ah,
Oh boy.
magnitude trumps frequency, brother.
Um, does that apply when you're out of position?
Well, that is
Yes.
a good question. And the one thing that I have to say is why. Let's go over why why it will be different when it goes check, check, turn.
The block bet when you're out of position is a thing, whereas in position, the block bet is not really a thing. And so it's all about sizing in terms of sizing, how big do you go?
In theory, but I would argue with the nuts. In position, I would use this size sometimes.
I mean,
No, that's not true. I'm all magnitude. That's bullshit. I'm all magnitude.
have an
like
opinion.
you can do these days. Got an opinion.
This seems like a perfect bet small to induce time because the bet small accomplishes the chance of getting called by 10s. Or even.
And also you got, he's gonna have a
because
random
it's a 4
6.
flush. It's because not just a flush, it's a 4 straight.
He's gonna have a random 6 sometimes.
Right. And so your bet small doesn't look, it looks like if it's a 6, he might want to, if he wants to get aggressive, he can try to represent the flush. Your bet small can get called by pocket 9s. So yeah, I like a bet small to induce here. And by small, I mean 4, 3.5, 4.5, or God forbid 1.
Well, chalk went up for Larry.
Good job,
Really
Larry.
Peter Clark.
All right. And you get called by?
He does call. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. Larry wins.
No, Peter Clark.
All right.
Did I tell you guys Peter Clark gave me free access?
what?
Can I humble brag?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys, I was pretty fucking obsessed with the Scott that is Peter Clark.
Yeah.
And I'm a fanboy. And so I follow him pretty closely on Twitter. And what happens is every once in a while, guys will be like say other poker players or with vlogs will be like, who do you want me to have on? So I got him hooked up in 2 collaborations. So did you see the collaboration he did with Mark Goon?
Yeah.
That's because I connected those guys.
I haven't seen him yet. Okay. I'll see that. That'll be good.
Because I was like, so I think Mark Goon was like, who should I work with? And then I wrote up a little pithy quote or 50 tweet, and he collaborated with Peter Clark. Then Jungle Man did the same.
Peter Clark is Carrot Corner, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I like his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. And then Jungle Man did the same thing. I wrote up quite a pithy little tweet. And he now got on the he's gonna have an upcoming podcast with Jungle Man.
Yeah, he hasn't released that one yet, has he?
It just happened, yeah. And so Peter Clark actually DM'd me on Twitter and said, "Thank you for supporting me for years. I want to give you a product." And I said, "Yeah, I want to try your sub product." So he gave it to me for free.
So what did you get?
So he's got a subscription model now with.
Yep.
So he gave me the subscription model.
That's
Is-
so nice. Awesome.
And is that subscription to get everything, like all of his stuff, like the cash injection?
No, you just get you don't get the bought products. You just get the new material that's behind the sub code.
Okay.
So you get another True EV series, and then he's got like an army of guys that he's recruited. None of them you know. They're all online. Essentially, the guys are all online winning players who are super. You could not believe how nerdy 500 NL online winning poker players are, cash players are. But these guys, I mean, it's heavy duty stuff. And so it's like this guy, James Spencer. It's good material. It's his stuff. Peter Clark's stuff is approachable. The other stuff gets really intense really quickly.
Awesome. All right. So it's 12:56. So let's either stop or do. I got two hands here that are probably quick. Let's do them. I'll do them next time. We can end here. We've all done some hands. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Talk to you guys next week.
See you next week. Yep.
Thanks for everything today, Scotty.
Thanks for everybody.
Thanks,
All right.
gang.
Cheers.
Bye out.